Okay, so you guys already know what time it is. It's time for recap of the day. So, what a recap we're gonna have, right? Massive move up today. This thing was just pumping. Okay. So as always, like to start with, the first thing, how did these sessions do, right? We had a Tokyo session, London session, New York session, and pretty much for the Tokyo, I would love to say it was a accumulation kind of thing, but it wasn't actually. It was a manipulation. Manipulation how? Manipulated the New York Open from yesterday, I mean New York high from yesterday, then pretty much stayed above it and then just rode it, right? London created distribution for the rest of the day, and then everything got just taken off. So we definitely got the manipulation and then we definitely got distribution, but the distribution continued through all this, all through London. Here we got still, distribution or New York still manipulated a little bit, but then at the end of the day ended up accumulating, which was kind of the idea, right? So that's your recap of what happened today. But now, how could you have played this a little better, right? Well, you definitely see the cycle that happened today through the three sessions. Let's take that off now. The next thing we could look at is the opening range. So again, usually I use the 15-minute opening range of the New York stock market. In this case, the first 15 minutes, right? These are 5-minute candles. Here you go. You would have waited for this break of opening range, retest of the opening range with a nice buying candle, and then you could have just wrote it, right? Wrote it up. You wouldn't know, I mean, unless you went back and looked at previous levels, but you could have, did a few different kind of trades if you did like, how everybody does it. I would have risked a 1 to 2, right? So you could have said, all right, maybe that wick right there, and your 1 to 2 would have been just to there. This would have been your risking 100 to make 200, risking 1,000 to make 2,000. All depends on your sizing, right? And the type of account you're managing. That could have been that one trade in the morning. However, if you are the type of person that says, oh man, how can I better my hold or how can I hold these days like this a little better? Here's how you can do it, right? I'm going to help you guys out. I use something called an EMA, a moving average, an exponential moving average. In this case, it's a 15. A lot of people use an 8, a 9, a 10, a 12. I like to use a 15. So under 5 minutes, it never came below that 15-minute. See, over here it also bounced. It finally, at the end of the day, came below and now it's reclaiming it. Usually this is on the 5 minute. I don't like to do it on a 5 minute. I like to do it on a 2 minute. Keeps me a little more uh, happy about not giving back so much money if I'm already in a loss. So here was your break, your retest. You're still in. In order to get out, you would have gotten out with 2 red or continued to hold until you get 2 red candles below the EMA. So that would have been a good way for you to stay in. Okay. And the other thing, I mean, the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, forget it. Today was all the way down here. There was no retracement of the VWAP today. So pretty easy long trade today. You could have just stayed using the 2-minute EMA, the 5-minute EMA, or even the 15. But to be a little more exact, you could have done the two. Right. So that's the recap of today and how the market behaved. Now, projection for tomorrow. Projection for tomorrow. Uh, um, we got to zoom out. Zoom out to like, let's say a 4 hour. Okay. Massive. Let me move this out of the way. Let me actually move previous day low. Where's the previous day low? Right here. Previous day high could be here, but again, the futures market has not fully closed. It closes at 5. Still a little early. I might have to adjust these again, but this would be, let's say, considered our previous day high for tomorrow. This is a previous day low. So what you'd be looking for is if after this massive move tomorrow because of these levels here, we get a pullback of right back down to this area, which would put us at 29,400s or 500s. Or if we break, if we hold above today's high, wherever it ends up being, use that as our support to continue to ride higher. Okay. So again, we have to wait. We have to wait. We have to let tonight develop its sessions, right? Kind of like we did today. I took a trade, uh, took a few trades early in the morning. I lost on those because the news had not come out about this. Then once this news, right? Why was it so positive today? News about, deal, reopening of Strait of Hormuz, all this stuff. The jobs didn't come out too bad. So all that stuff was very positive for the market, right? All this peace deal or deals on the Strait of Hormuz, right? Helping out. So for me, I like to now wait until the opening range is developed, wait for those first 15 minutes. As soon as, I waited for those 15 minutes, it gave us a clean entry under the 5 minute or even the 2 minute. See, bang, bang, and then just went. So I think that's what I'm going to do again for tomorrow. I'm going to let the night tell me, hey, how did the sessions behave? Let's wait for our 15-minute opening range to develop. Let's throw in some of our tools that help us stay in a trade, like the EMA, VWAP, and a whole bunch of other ones I use. I don't want to make this video too long, so wouldn't be able to get into that. But if you do want to learn more, again, I invite you to visit Day Trading Wolf. Join the pack, super cheap. You want to learn, right? Watch some educational videos, come in, sign up for the pro plan, get the free Discord access where we share some of the stuff there, even our results. Today we did very well. I mean, if you look at chat here, here's the free chat. We shared what we did. These were the trades that we took in the morning, right? The times and everything. Look at that, 10:05, 10:09, 10:28. Some of the members also doing very well today. 372 on that account, 216, 223. Here's Bree, 590, 228, right? Pretty nice, right? Um, and that's what I like. I like to share more of what they do than what I do. Yes, I have other accounts. I did very well today. Okay, but it's not about me. It's about you guys learning. Here were my thoughts right after all the morning pump. I sent my thoughts at midday, right? Where I said, hey, we've pumped up and I think the market's going to consolidate. What did the market do in the afternoon? Consolidate. So there you go. Something that I've been doing for 14 years. I see this day in, day out, and you just start to like recognize patterns. So if you also want to be a part of the live sessions, this morning is where I had my live sessions here, the elite live sessions. I go live there with all the members of, who belong to the elite, which are pretty much all these members. Sorry, hold on. Let me disconnect there. The elite sessions. Whoever's a part of the elite, they get to access to that. Watch me trade. Um, more than welcome. Come join. Okay. Daytradingwolf.com there. If you want to learn directly from me, then here's where this is for the serious people. Okay. People who want one-on-one coaching, more of a VIP, early access to setups, right? 2 hours every week for the full month. So pretty much you get 8 hours of one-on-one coaching with me. At some monthly basis. Like once you're done, like you feel like, oh, hey, I learned a lot in this month. Good. You can downgrade to this one and then just have access to the lives. So Made it very, very accessible, especially for people who want to learn for the first time or want to get in. Very accessible. You want to still watch what I do, how I trade, and how I take my trades. Bang. And if you want one-on-one, there you go. So for tomorrow, what do we see? Let me zoom out. Again, waiting. Maybe a pullback, right? And if I go from today's low to today's high, wherever that is, I can use a tool like a Fibonacci tool, something else you guys will learn from being in classes with me. Go from a low to a high, sorry. Probably back to the opening range. All right, I don't want to make this video too long, but there's the recap. Wait for your night sessions. Wait to see if there's more news tomorrow. If there is a pullback, we could be pulling back to the opening range of today. There, we could have a nice demand area to continue to try to go back up to today's high and then maybe even break high. But again, wait for the New York Open and trade the prime times, which is always from 9:45 to like about 11:30. After that, it's a lot of low volume consolidation. So the prime time is always in the morning for those of you who have the time to trade. For those of you who don't have the morning because you're working, come learn. I'll teach you how to trade in different times, right? Using other tools, using other techniques, and then that way you're not stuck on, oh, but I can't trade because I'm always working. No, you can. You just have to find the right strategy for you based on, your work life. So that's it. See you guys again tomorrow. For those of you who are part of the elite, I will see you again tomorrow at around 9:45. We'll go live around 9:45 till about 10:30, 10:45. Usually we're done in less than an hour. We're done in less than an hour with the money that we needed to make. So this was my result today on this pro account with Lucid. 301, right? So that's what's cool. So come and learn. See you guys on the next video. Have a good night.